All right. But regardless, we're going to start the morning because I think this was one of the dumber ideas they've had, is they waited for the patch to go live to launch all the stuff about the new ship. So the behind the ships, the Q&A, all that. I don't know what your guys' thought process on this is, but I would have thought it would make sense to hype it up, get everyone excited to get into the patch and check it out. But that's me. Anyway, we'll start with the behind the ships. So here we go.
What can you tell me about the Greek god Hermes?
History question.
I have absolutely no idea.
I will say the wrong thing, and then the internet will be mad at me.
Did he carry
over here.
cargo on his shoulders? I don't know. Pull a cart? Was he the god of goods?
Hermes was the herald of the gods and considered the protector of the human heralds, so responsible for people traveling from one location to another and moving things around.
A herald was a cargo hauler? He was a postman. I thought a herald was like the news guy on the corner in New York City. Hey, read all about it. Read all about it. Okay.
Perfect.
The Hermes is RSI's first dedicated medium freighter. We were discussing new ships.
What? What the Why you always lying? Brother, what happened to the Taurus? Is it because it's a variant? This is a variant too. Like, what are they talking about? The Taurus is literally the same ship. You had the same question, but you got roasted in other chats. You know why? You got roasted in other chats because those words came from CIG's mouth, and the people in those chats will do anything to defend that shit. No matter what CIG says, if they said it, they will find a way to defend it. It's like politics nowadays. It's so funny.
Quite some time ago, and
because the Taurus has an awful cargo grid. You want to know what's funny? Is you're right, only because it's 3 high, but the Taurus is the gold standard for how cargo should be done. Cargo comes down, you are filling at your head level. It is one of the easiest things to fill up. And I think that is the way most cargo should be done. I think the Taurus or Constellation series is one of the best cargo experiences. The grid, I will always criticize a 3 high cargo grid. Always. Because the number of boxes, all that stuff was always stupid. But I think we should have 1s, 8s, 16s, and 32s. And that's it.
at that point we were developing the Apollo, and the Hermes seemed a natural chassis alteration for the Apollo series.
With the RSI Apollo, it was received very well in terms of its styling, and really what we wanted to do was take those visuals and just make it available for a new audience.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially the Connie that we all wanted.
Distinguishing feature of the Hermes
visually.
is it has much larger, beefed up thrusters visually on the outside.
It needs a lot of power to move that weight around. One of the things we wanted to try and convey with its visuals was this idea that it had a lot more strength than what the base Apollo did. So if you look at the very top of the ship, you'll notice that where there's a big window in the Apollo, you're seeing much more of the kind of like the inner structure of the ship. So it's reinforced with large girders and these big metal plates that make it feel a lot stronger.
Whilst its official designation is a medium freighter, the Hermes is sort of internally often referred to as a sort of blockade runner.
Bro, I heard somebody say that CIC... Okay, I have not seen this yet, but somebody in my Discord said that CIG called this a blockade runner. Bro, I really despise when CIG uses terms from other video games like EVE Online and refuse to do any of the mechanics that are in that. So what makes a blockade runner in EVE Online? There's a lot of ships in EVE Online, more than are in Star Citizen, I think. So correct me if I'm wrong here, but a blockade runner can fit a like a tier 2 stealth thing where you literally cannot be seen. You can fit interdiction nullifiers, which would be covert ops cloaking. They can warp, they can quantum travel while cloaked. They can have interdiction nullifiers. That means if a mantis, like if to use a Star Citizen example, if you were within the mantis's bubble where you could be slowed down and prevented from going to warp, you can warp. And your cargo grid cannot be scanned. 0 of those mechanics in this game. 0. So what makes a blockade runner? Speed, basically. The MSR was like the last thing that had that. So this does not have that speed at all. So I just don't like them using those terms as if they're making the video game when you guys are just ship artists. You just draw pictures of ships and you don't really apply much gameplay to them, right? That's really the thing here. And it's very frustrating when they do that. SCM speed is slower than the Asgard. Yeah, what blockade are you getting through? And blockades don't exist. The only blockade that would exist is a mantis. So if you're going to say that there's a blockade runner or like a Cutlass Blue, whatever, if you're going to say this is a blockade runner, this should have the counter to that.
It is great performance in a straight line with those extra beefy thrusters.
Yeah, and the chat is calling bullshit on the performance.
It has some good armor. Obviously, the weapons are all upgraded compared to the Apollo series. It has 16 S2 missiles. It can pack a punch while providing very competitive SCM and nav speeds at the expense
1200 nav
of some maneuverability. Inside, the front half of the ship shares virtually everything with the Apollo series, and that is your bridge and habs and...
So you can't outrun a mantis. Like, what? I don't get it. What blockade are you getting out of? Like, that's just all I'm talking... Like, I don't want to be overly critical about that comment, but... Because, like, I think the overall ship is a fine idea, cool-looking ship, all that stuff. I don't want to be overly negative, but that is... really weird, and if there's no acceleration, that's odd. Please be critical. I don't mind being critical, but I think if you harp on one thing that is, just a thing they said, that is a meaningless thing that they said, because honestly, it's meaningless. There is no blockades, there is no running, there is no game. Like, it's just meaningless marketing bullshit. But if you are internally calling it a blockade runner, I mean, internally, you should recognize how little of a game you have. I don't know. It's very weird. It's just a weird comment to make.
Component room, but the back half is a completely different story.
Okay. A big cavern. On the exterior, is there a reason for everything to stop here?
It's pretty obvious that things have changed.
Okay.
It basically strips out any of the interior that isn't essential to the ship's flight and replaces it with a large cargo space.
I mean, that looks very manageable, very good.
Capable of holding 288.
Hey! All right. I gave John Crew a lot of shit. Now it's time to praise him. This is exactly what a cargo hauler is looking for in terms of some things. I think this will still probably be hard to work in, but do you see the space right? You see the space above? There's no third level there. This is a 2-high cargo grid with room to spare at the top. So if you still like the raft, perfect timing, because this is what I was about to say. If you like internal cargo, which there is some reason to like internal cargo, right? Obviously, I think in the future, external cargo will probably get damaged, fall off, things like that. I think this is a really, really well thought out height. Right? Can't access the boxes behind without moving the ones in front. Duh. Like, okay, that's if CIG wants to do cargo where we load it and unload it, yeah, that's part of that. That's one of the elements of fun, in my opinion, about loading and unloading. I don't like the actual process. I think it's very long, tedious. Tractor beams are very annoying to work with. Everything is very jank. But to order the boxes in which you're dropping off, I always found to be a fun cerebral experience, right? So, yeah.
SCU. And that
I don't agree with you there.
Being able to hold the 32 SCU crates. There isn't a lot of ships in that 200 to 300 SCU cargo range. You have the Raft series that's down at 192, and then you have sort of the Caterpillar series that is 500 plus. There isn't.
Hello, Starlancer? You just ignore the Starlancer? Because the Starlancer was the exact opposite of what I just praised. It is a horrible cargo grid to work in because there is very little space between the walls and the ceilings and the limit in which the cargo grid has. So I think, I think they heard the feedback from those ships and have made better cargo ships. This is the exact example of, if you guys like mining, if you like salvage, if you like anything in this game, you really don't want your favorite ship that does those things to come out first. Because that's how you get the Starlancer. That's how you get a lot of these cargo grids that we have. And then the newer cargo ships are getting better and better and better.
Really many ships in that middle zone.
Not that this is perfect.
The whole
but they have learned one lesson.
Moving up to 512. That was sort of the closest. But of course, the Hermes carries all of its cargo internally compared to, say, the Hull series, which has it all external and much more vulnerable.
Yeah, they keep saying much more vulnerable, but I mean, that'll probably be a future thing. It doesn't really, I mean, people shoot off the Hull C spindles, right? So
one of the things we realised when we were developing the ship was having a cargo space that is quite short but very wide, and then trying to bring the cargo into the space was quite difficult.
And Hull A, yeah.
So a design team came up with this idea of having this tractor beam that ran on a rail through the centre of the cargo space. And that really allows you to be able to...
Now, I will say, I did see this in practice yesterday.
...pull that cargo in quite easily.
And the tractor beam can be controlled from either the co-pilot seat or a dedicated station at the rear of the ship.
Apparently, the co-pilot seat doesn't work in in live right now, but it's intended to.
So if you've ever had problems playing cargo Tetris, then the Hermes might be the ship for you.
That is not a dramatization. That is essentially how it worked. It just wasn't fast. So I saw them pulling in cargo using this tractor beam mechanic of going down the rail, and it was very effective. Very effective going in. Going out, the tractor beam doesn't keep up with the pressure pushing it. So it's not a good experience going out. So if they can address the going in and going out, then that's fine. Hand tractor definitely is faster. But I think this is just simpler. If that's a thing, if that makes sense. It looked simple, but I completed multiple cargo missions traveling across Stanton while I was watching one guy in a Hermes fill up one medium cargo with 4 SCU.
So in terms of paints on the Hermes, the default paint is kind of a nod back to the Zeus CL, so another cargo ship from RSI. We thought it'd be nice to kind of continue that theme and that brand recognition across the cargo ships on the RSI lineup. The Apollo was quite a serious ship, so for the paints for the Hermes, we thought we'd have a bit more fun. We've got a nice two-tone black and yellow.
Bait.
We've got a purple, yellow, and white.
Okay, this looks more blue, gold, and white in the game, and it looks really good.
And because Jared cries when we don't, and he's quite persistent at coming and appearing at my desk, we also did the disco paint that we did for the RSI Meteor.
Disco paint's
so
fire.
Again,
you
it builds
like the
on that.
disco paint? This is just not. I don't like red. Like red's never been one of my colors that I like. So, is it the pearlescent? It looks pearlescent in the video. It's never been my style.
Brand recognition.
Orange still.
And it keeps Jared.
I mean, it's not bright orange.
Happy.
Yay.
Yeah, it's like a burnt orange.
This ship is obviously for those focused on cargo hauling, but you can also fit quite a lot of our smaller ground vehicles in there. So it's a great little ship to reposition things around.
Oh, I mean, maybe a good mining. Can it fit a? I'm assuming it can fit mining stuff, right?
A lot of people have said that they love the Apollo's
A
look,
rock?
but don't like the medical gameplay. So this really is the ship for those people. It's fast, sleek, and is very just versatile ship. So I think people are going to enjoy it.
They keep saying it's fast, but everybody is saying it's slow. I haven't flown it yet. No rock, Gallo Gaming says in Twitch chat. I mean, is it faster than the Raft? Is that what they're trying to go with here? Okay, well, we also have the sale page, so we're going to get to look at the price. Oh, and paints. So that's the purple and gold. Honor Bound's just green. There's your disco. That's red, guys. That's red. It looks orange in the thing. Lockdown's the yellow and tripline. I got the tripline one. I did pick this up with some store credit to give it a try. And then I guess we have to wait for the prices to come in. There you go. So 200 Warbond, 220 store credit, and then $11 paints. Raft went from 125 to 190 as well. Everybody knew that was going up, so that's no surprise at all. Okay, and then the Q&A. Let's see what they have to say. Well, the Hermes is designated as a medium freight. The term blockade runner has been used throughout its development. What does that mean? Yeah, I don't want to get mad again. Blockade runner is a cargo ship used to circumvent enemy forces surrounding a port or other heavily defended locations. This suits the Hermes well as it has a large cargo capacity, powerful main thrusters, and improved hull health and armor, making it ideal for safety transporting payloads in dangerous places. Again, any blockade would have a Mantis. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? They play the game in Imagine Land and just say Eve terms. Hopefully people are dumb enough to buy this stuff. 288 SCU. How does its cargo capacity stack up against other medium haulers? It sets itself apart from medium freighters such as Ergo Rav, Mistral B, as its cargo is stored internally rather than externally. Compared to the RSI Constellation Taurus, Mistral, and Answer Max, it provides much more capacity despite being physically shorter. Does it really give that much more? How much is the Taurus? Like 192? Mantis is made of paper now. It always was. But it also goes 1,400 meters per second. 170 something. 176. Okay, I mean, I guess it's 100 more SCU, so that is kind of relevant. But I'd still keep that in the medium class. Capable of carrying any standard cargo rates from 1 to 32. This is an individual or group. Definitely a group. Yeah. Yeah, good Valikar Fang ship, maybe. How does the Hermes compare to the Apollo in terms of performance and handling? Hermes gains hull health as well as higher SCM and nav speeds, but lower acceleration. And then again, the paints are not compatible between the two. I saw people get upset about that. Maximum container size 32. Does the cargo bay support standard containers only, or can it handle vehicles? We already saw the video. Can handle some vehicles. What drove the design philosophy of the Hermes? Design of the cargo bay is a function of the ship's shape and desire to keep the cargo bay metrics to standard SCU volumes rather than min-maxing all the available space. Some older ships have taller cargo grids, but feedback from players has been these are a challenge to manage. So for the Hermes, we tried to avoid that. Thank you for listening. I think people may get annoyed because maybe min-maxers or whatever, but I think you 100% did the right thing. 100% did the right thing, because if you were going to raise it, you had to double it. Yeah, I think they 100% listen to feedback there, and just when feedback makes sense, like, how do you not do it? And there's no way that stuff didn't make sense. Hermes fully loaded with cargo. Do players still have to clear access to components for engineering gameplay? Components are easily accessible. Okay. Distraction beam on rails work similar to Scorpius turret. Yep. You press a button and it moves. Can the pilot handle all cargo operations solo? Hermes is fully soloable, as you could fly and land the ship from the pilot seat, then jump over to the co-pilot seat or dedicated station in the rear of the ship. I think they're asking, like, do I need to leave the pilot seat? Somewhat, but yeah. The team is aware the Hermes tractor beam controls are not working in the co-pilot seat. It's intended for it to function. The team will look into it and will address it in an upcoming update. I think that's fine if that doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, I could do that in a reclaimer too. Exactly. Like, the logic here is completely stupid because we could do that in all of our ships. I can also do that in a hull C. Like, give me a break here, guys. What's the Hermes' ability to fight back when intercepted during a cargo run? Hermes is not a dogfighter. Its maneuverability doesn't grant that ability easily, but anyone caught in front of it will have to deal with 4 size 4 guns firing at them, 2 from the pilot and 2 from the optionally slave remote turret. But it's a blockade runner, so it should be fast, and they should be behind you. Oh, boy. Okay. If you're going to put blockade runner, I'd love to... I mean, again, they do not have the mechanics correct yet, but I would love to see more interdiction mechanics in Star Citizen, a little bit more depth to it, and then every ship that you applied Blockade Runner to, which is basically MSR in this so far, there should be some special functionality with it. I think that would be really cool. It does 1,200 meters per second in nav. What does a Mantis do? So stop just typing things in chat that are just words CIG said, but in the actual situational examples that you're giving, other ships that you would be going against in these blockades would outrun you. You would not get out, right? So that's the complaint I'm making here. So I just, yeah, Mantis is about 1,400. So you're not getting out. And especially a Mantis can be like a wide range and prevent you. So yeah, I want to see the blockade runner concept just be built out more. I don't mind them saying it, but I think if you're going to say it, it has to be more than flying in a straight line. That is so, like, the opposite of Star Citizen to me. Star Citizen's like tactile and you're actually interacting with things and hopefully counterplay, right? So it's goofy. You guys want me to watch the ad, but the ad always has copyrighted music in it. So I won't be watching it just yet. So that was the Hermes as far as everything that we know so far. Again, biggest positive, and I want to stick to that as much as possible. Listening to us on cargo grids, would love to see what they do with larger, more well thought out, dedicated cargo ships with external cargo in the future. Think C2 style, C2 size, hopefully lower to the ground, cargo grids that come down, cargo grids that are that leave that space at the top, leave that space on the sides, and allow you to maneuver things in and out. I'd like to see the rail tractor beams slightly better on the going out, and coming in, it's fantastic from what I've seen. And yeah, I'm very overall more pleased with the ship than I thought I would be. But I don't think this is going to be anyone's cargo daily driver by any means. But they could be if they like the style. That's basically all it would really be. And the blockade runner thing is just stupid, and hopefully it's more than just marketing speak at some point, and we'll go from there.